Whenever a driver brings out a new car, there's always a huge amount of interest. When that driver is Frankie Wainman Jr., the interest goes up tenfold. We've been very lucky to be invited up to Frankie's workshop today. We're going to talk new shell car and all things stock car racing. We're also going to catch up with Danny, Phoebe and Frankie Wainman Jr. as part of our visit. Right, where's my chauffeur? Eddie, where's Sophie? Give her a ring again. I've been waiting here 2 minutes. So I'm with Frankie Wainman Jr. in your dad's workshop. It's very cold in here.
It is a little bit. We've had to turn the heater off because it's too noisy for the filming.
Yeah, but it's very cold. And we've got a storm outside, so we're protecting ourselves.
Yeah.
So let's talk about you. If we go back to 2021, we spoke in the off-season. You bring out a brand new shell car. You did 3 meetings and went to Bradford.
Yeah.
It didn't go well.
It didn't go well. Before Bradford, the car it felt really quick and it felt really good. So we were happy and took it to Bradford. And first race was the Chase Series.
Yes.
Which obviously didn't go very well. A lot of cars had a lot of damage. I ended up in the consolation because I hit the wall, obviously. And then the consolation happened, which pretty much, wrecked it, to be honest. So had to get it back and get it all stripped down. It was stripped down to a bare chassis, basically. And, it was a lot of work, just gone down the drain to start again. So
it's that phrase, right? People go, "Oh, that's stock car racing," don't they? Got stock car racing. But actually, you spent all winter and all that time, money and effort building this beautiful car. And then you look at it like the day after, it must be like really soul destroying.
Yeah, it is disappointing, but at the end of the day, no one was hurt. It's just steel. So you got to look at it and say, right, it's happened. Once it's happened, there's nothing you can do about it, is there? So brought it back, got it stripped down, rebuilt it, and went back at it.
So how long did it take you from having it back to rebuilding it to getting back out again? I can't remember the time. Was it a long period of time?
It wasn't too long. Obviously, we tried to get it done as quick as possible. I wanted it back out so I could, get back to it as quick as possible. So I can't remember how long it was now, but it wasn't long.
And was it right when you built this car, you took it out, relatively happy with it, I guess, and then is it always right again when you've had to do all that work?
It's not gone well this season at all. Since the crash. Off season, we've stripped it down, had a look at it, found quite a few things that we're not happy with. So I'm happy to get back out. I'm looking forward to get back out on track and seeing what it's like and improving. Yeah.
Okay, we'll come back to shell car in a minute for this coming season. And then Tarmac Racing, you brought out a refurbished car at the back end of the season with a noticeable difference to many others.
Yeah. I always liked I think it was Skegness quite a few years ago, before I was in F1s. I think Ed Neutral rolled over and did the rest of the meeting without, it was either Ed or James, I can't remember. But he did the rest of the meeting without a wing, and I really liked the look of the car when I was obviously in the crowd watching, and I thought, I might do that one day, and so I just decided to do it. And I'm happy with how it turned out.
Yeah. So people so Aeroforce, right? So I know nothing about Aeroforce. Do they work? Do they not work? And there's debate, isn't there, on the internet about do they do anything? So do they do anything?
Personally, I think the shale wings do their job on shale, but tarmac, it's debatable how much they're doing. I mean, you want as much downforce as possible, but you want the downforce going to the back wheels when you're coming out the corner to get the traction. But I don't think you're travelling at a fast enough speed when you're coming out the corner for the downforce to work. So yeah, I'll let you know after this season. Yeah.
So if you had £1 for every person that came up to you saying you ought to put an airfoil on that, how rich would you be?
I'd have another car.
Yeah.
People going, "Oh, I think you forgot your wing, mate." Funny.
Yeah.
Not heard that one before.
No, absolutely. So that what Mercedes was doing, I'm carrying something and people go, clap your hands, or do you know what I mean? Do you want me to give you a hand? No, it's not funny. It's
Same
not funny.
So
2021 wasn't as good as you hoped, I'm guessing.
It was probably my worst season so far, I'd say. Just disappointed with how things turned out, and it just felt like one thing was going wrong after another. But I'm actually more excited for this season than I have been for any other season before. I'm really excited to get them back out on track and getting the cars back up to pace and hopefully a lot quicker.
So why is that? What's changed over the winter?
I think Probably because last season was so bad, I'm more keen to get back at it and improve and just get more to where I want to be.
Yeah. So aspiration, what does that look like for you this year? Is it, have you kind of setting yourself any like goals and targets of what you want to do?
I want to. I don't know. I want to win World Final, British, European, and the shootout.
That's a great start. Okay.
Realistically, I want to be a lot more competitive. I want to be one of the top lads. You go to a meeting, there's always the top lads there. I want to be one of them, and I want to be, the best eventually. So I'll be going for it. I think speaking to a few people about it, probably yourself last year, around you've got a really good group of of red tops, blue tops, but then to break into that top echelon of the sport is really quite tough, isn't it? It is tough, and the lads at the top, they're obviously very talented and they're hard working, and they're at the top for a reason. It's because they put the effort in and they're good drivers. So I want to work towards where they are.
Yeah. Okay. So over the winter, it's been just refresh of both cars, so you're kind of pretty much ready to go, I guess.
Yeah. A couple more bits to do to each car, but not a lot. 90% there, so fairly happy, and just go for it and see what happens.
So not much work for you personally. So what have you been doing over the close season?
Well, we've got a few customer cars that we've been building. A new shale car for my dad that we've been building, and then I've been working for Neil Allcroft as well, welding and fabricating and building tanks and just keeping busy.
So is that what's in there? Right,
yeah.
Can we go and look at this massive
Yeah,
tank? Cool, go. Right, so we are stood next to a massive thing that you're welding. So, but where are we in your workshop bits now?
So we're in the other end of the workshop. This is where Daniel does a lot of his work, and my granddad does some work, and we don't use it a lot, but when we've got a project this big, we need to, it don't fit in between the ramps in our garage, so we had to come in here.
But it's a great building, it's a massive building. But it's really difficult to kind of see on camera, but it's a huge space. What was it?
It was a barn for milking cows, and it was that for a very long time. We kept a lot of stuff in here before my time.
Yeah.
And then obviously stock cars came into the picture, and they kind of took over, and we went away from the farming side of it, and now it's a workshop.
Yeah. It's colder in this side.
It's colder in this side. Yeah. It's a big area.
Yeah.
We would have the fire on, but it's not been going well recently.
No. So this is what you do, when you're not working on stock cars, you're welding this kind of stuff up. So what is it?
It's a tank for oil. Yeah. And for Benson's, and which is Neil Allcroft's company. Yeah. They deal in waste oil, and they've asked me and my dad to make them a tank, so I've been welding this up, and it's just welding and welding and more welding, which is highly exciting. But to be honest, I don't mind doing it. I quite enjoy it, and it's hard. It's hard to get the obviously we're welding so it can seal. Yeah. So you have to be bang on every time, and then we're testing all the welds afterwards, and it's a long process. But
so how long has this took?
Ooh, I've probably been on the. Me and my dad have been on with this probably 4 days now.
Wow, okay. That's a huge amount of time. Yeah.
But we've got to do 2 of these, and then we've got to take them there, and there's a lot more that needs to go into it yet. Yeah.
When you it's a bit boring, I guess, if you just welding, you maybe should listen to some of our podcasts from the BSCDA. You could have them in your helmet. Do
I do have my headphones in. I don't usually listen to music.
But not listening to me then, no?
I will be next time.
Good. So we've got your massive tank thing there. This new building here, which I'm guessing is where you guys hold your team meetings before you go to a stock car track.
Not quite. Okay. It's our new engine building area. Yep. Chris Fort has been building Daniel's engines for a few years now, and he's been doing an absolute fantastic job. We've had no issues with them whatsoever, so we decided to build this, and he can build however many he wants now.
He doesn't live in there though, does he?
He doesn't live
like a little
in there.
house.
No.
Okay.
We're going to put a fridge in there with a few beers for him, and then he'll be happy. But no, it's hopefully it'll be the next step forward, and he can start doing some more.
So if you're going to do them for you guys, is that more cost effective? I guess that it's been done
Yeah,
almost?
it's easier, obviously. With him doing Daniels so well, there's no issues, so we'll have him in there, and it's just, we have everything we need here then, and it should just make it a lot easier.
But we can't look in there though, can we? Because there's secret things in there, isn't there?
Top secret.
Can we say what top secret things they are?
If I tell you, I'd have to kill you.
Okay, fine, no worries. Let's carry on. So this is like a guide, you're like a tour guide now, right? You're going to give me a guided tour of things of interest.
There is more interesting tours to have.
There are, like, people would pay for this tour, I'm convinced they would.
The hay shed, and well, we used to keep hay in here, but now it's tractors and stock cars.
Yeah.
A lot more tractors than stock cars, but we've got a really old stock car back there. It was one of my dad's, and I can't remember which one it is now. I think they called it Black Magic.
Okay. Oh, okay, yeah, people talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's that one. So.
Okay. Is that like being redone for heritage or something, or no?
Not at the minute. It's just sat there, but yeah, every time an anorak comes up, they're obsessed with it. So. But yeah, a lot of tractors in here. Just been sat here for years and years and years.
So your shale car?
My shale car. Which
you know, when we spoke in there, you said I'm pretty much ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
It's about ready. A couple of wheels on it. It's got a little bit to do to it, not a lot now. It's mostly done. It just needs panels whacking back on it, wheels, and away we go, really.
So why is yours sticking out in the rain and snow, and your dad's just like tucked in nice and?
It's only in the front end in the rain, so I'm having new brakes, so it doesn't really matter. Cool. But yeah, I'll have to have a word with him about that.
I think so. Right, what else is there? Show me.
What else? Put me on the spot here.
I am.
We've got Danny Wainman's truck. Yeah. The Danny Wainman's truck.
Nice and clean, I like it.
Everyone's already seen that. I don't know what there is to show anymore. Grandad's old car up there.
Yeah.
For no apparent reason whatsoever.
I think it's done as like an artistic thing. Yeah. You know, it looks good. Yeah. It's like a really good artistic piece.
Like Banksy.
Yes.
Yeah. That kind of vibe.
Yeah, I like it.
And we've got, I don't know if we'll be able to get to it, but...
We don't need to climb.
No.
No.
If we walk right round, we might be able to get to it. It'd be quite good to look at. This is quite a way there. Oh, it's lovely.
There's a bus there.
That is Yelly and Neil Tesla's bus.
Okay, good parking.
Yes. They're waiting to take their cars back with them. There's another stock car just there, but that's...
So you know, like,
not a lot of interesting.
Have you ever thought about doing like stock car themed holiday breaks? Because you could like rent these out. People could come and stay on your farm.
Yeah, doesn't sound too good to me.
If you decide it's a good idea, I want some some interest of it.
We've got a few old wings up here and little bits and bobs, just stuff that's been thrown around. Fridges, these are all out of caravans. And round here, we've got a little bit of a graveyard. Yeah, we've got a graveyard here. There's a few old cars, and then up here there's two brand new chassis that my granddad built in the 80s, I think. And they never saw the track. I don't know why, so...
So you know when we do this tour guide thing next time, just there's some like key bits of like information we need to add in. But it's a good start, I like it. Yeah. Thank you ever so much for showing me around in the snow.
In the snow and rain.
Yeah. We're now going to watch Jordan try and fly a drone over your farm.
I'm quite excited.
I'm very excited by this. You know, it's like over there.
Yeah.
And he's going to walk and get it.
He's running.
Thank you so much. Good luck for 2022.
Thank you very much.
I hope you, get the success that you want, which you clearly...
So do I.
Yeah, good. And the sun's coming out.
So, thank you.
Oh, lovely.
you're right. Right, we're in your workshop, but we're not in your workshop, are we? You've been evicted from your workshop.
I've been evicted from both my workshops.
Okay.
I'm normally in a garage there, which Carl has taken over.
Yeah.
And then I'm normally there, which my other car is, but Frankie's taken over that garage.
So you're now in this bit?
I'm in my dad's bit, that's the wagon bit. So I've just finished this car today, and then we're going to get it out and bring my dad's wagon back in.
Okay, so we'll talk about this in a minute. Right, let's go back to last season. So we spoke at the beginning of the year, we did like your big car reveal, we had like one car for the whole year. So I guess, how was 2021?
To be honest, it was probably one of my best years for a long time. I had a final win round Bradford and third in the British at Skegness, and they were like the following weeks to each other. Yeah. And I thought that's what really made it. It was the same car, not a lot of practice at Skegness. We did the release bearing in practice, so didn't even practice much, and then we won my heat, which was the shale car heat, if you would. So I was quite glad to win that, which got me a good starting position really for the British, and we ended up finishing third. And the two cars in front of me are proper out and out tarmac cars. They're the top of the game cars, so to only lose to them two, I was quite impressed with. Yeah.
When we spoke, you said you wanted to beat Frankie to win a final when you were back at Bradford. How did that go down?
It went quite well, to be fair, because I did it. No, it wasn't just a case of winning a final. I wanted to win a final at my home track. We'd done a hell of a lot of work there, so I wanted to make sure I could win there, and luckily I did.
Yeah, good. Right, so we stood in front of something that's very new, but not very new, and very shiny. So what is this? What is this?
This was my dad's last car. So I think I last raced in 2010, but for one meeting at the start of the year because my car wasn't ready.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's just been parked up in the shed. We had a big block in it, had LD axles in and stuff like that, and it was just sat there not doing anything. About 4 years ago, my dad said, we'll get that car in and we'll redo that one, and it came in and we chopped a lot of stuff off it, and then it got left again because the season starts again, and we did start doing a little bit to it when it was the COVID year, but we just got that flat out with caravan business. We stopped again on it. So this winter I made sure I got it ready. More for me, Daddy really wanted to see me race his car again. I don't know why. It's nothing left of what was his really, just the roll cage loops and chassis legs. But other than that, it's basically brand new. So
what is the plan? Because obviously you've still got your last year's car up there, and we've got this new car. So what's the plan?
I don't know.
Are you just bored at the minute?
No. The original idea was sell a car to pay for the lodge I was buying, and that came off. So I did last year for definite with one car, and it was hard at times. It's the worrying factor if my engine goes. We do all our own engines now and stuff like that. We've built an engine shop to do our engines in, so we're trying to get as much money into our engines. We're not doing it all ourselves, so it was just a worrying factor that I could race one weekend and then the weekend after not be there because of my engine. And we luckily bought an engine that was needed building up, so we got that quite cheap, and just got to build this car up to put it in. And I don't know, I've put ideas into it for a new dual surface car for next year, so I want to try them first, and then that's sort of the idea. So dual surface for this as well as that, and then maybe I don't know if I'll race at dual surface. I'll definitely race it on shale because it's more the shale ideas that I've tried. But I've got a couple of people who might want to race on tarmac. Tom Boyer, who is my top mechanic, the crew chief, he did it a couple of years ago, raced my car once, ended up buying it, did a full season, so I don't want to lose him again, so I don't want him to buy this one. But the idea is just to make a bit of money from it. Probably not sell this one at end of year, maybe sell mine, just to build a new one from that then. What,
for 2023?
2023, that's the main idea.
It's a very nice orange. I like the orange.
To be honest, it's not my usual painter who's painted it. Steve Wainman got at Hedisford and has had to have a lot of time off work from it. That's unfortunate with stock cars. That's what happens sometimes, and especially when a lot of us are self-employed as well. It doesn't help, but he couldn't paint it in time for everything, so I've gone to Dino at Huddersfield, who's done a few cars for Frankie in the past, and it's come out really nice. Normally with Steve, I just give him the car and I say, do what you want. But I didn't want to do that with Dean. I didn't know what we were going to be like. So I told him I wanted to go back to my dad's colours. My dad's always had bright oranges and blue chassis. So dad's car, dad's colours.
Yeah, no, it does look fantastic. And sign written next...
Brian's coming on Monday to do his signs. So I've had Brian every time apart from once, and I'll always have Brian. Is, in my eyes, the best in the business.
Yeah. And then just, I guess, last question, looking to, it's 4 weeks away till we get to Kings Lynn. Yeah, I know. You want to see them in there, that next workshop, they're really bad.
Not too bad, I've only got one car to get ready.
So I guess plans for the coming season, got Worth final at Ipswich, you've got British at Bradford.
Well, final at Ipswich, I know when that came out, I said to Jess, oh no, we've got a race in June now, so that's a weekend off we're not going to get. But it's one of them. It's a track I do enjoy racing at. I just don't enjoy going there because it's too far.
Yes. Yeah,
it's just too far. But other than that, we'll definitely be going for the British. Probably in my car. Yeah. Let somebody else race this, and just to try and get other people racing again a bit more. That car doesn't need much work doing to it, so we've sort of left it till a couple of weeks before the start of the year.
Yeah, it'll be fine. And I guess you mentioned British Bradford. Last time when we spoke, you were heavily involved in kind of getting it up and running with Steve. Change of promoters. Are you still kind of helping out there, or
we've took a little bit of a back seat. My dad's going to go definitely and help them with a fence and stuff like that for the first few meetings, but they're very, very intelligent people. They don't need telling what to do. No. Especially Russell and Gray, and they're very switched on. So I wish them all the luck and stuff like that. It was hard work when we were there because doing stuff that, in hindsight, was always never going to be the right thing.
Yes.
Doing the pitch protection was just a nightmare every time, and unfortunately for that, the last time the F1s raced there, the Bradford Ben, I destroyed the track with a load all really.
Actually, it's your fault.
I got blamed by Steve, but it's one of them things. I did ring him up when I got there and said, he really wanted me to put this stuff down because it is it's boggy as anything. And he said, yeah, crack on, we'll sort it. And I'm like, okay. And he's just such a nightmare, so they've took that straight out, they've put concrete in, and they're doing it well, I'm not going to say properly because Steve's idea was to eventually go to this, but money and time is of the essence. Last year we had to get the track up and running and quick. So.
Yeah, I think that was the thing, wasn't it? It was almost like a bit of a compromise, wasn't it, for 2021? It won Bradford back, but what can we do to get it up and running? And pitch protection was important, and what can we do, I suppose, just for the short term?
Yeah, that's all it was. There was a few, I would say, corners cut straight away to get us back there at the time it needed to be back. And I think if Bradford didn't come back, our sport would be struggling a lot. He brought a lot of drivers back, a lot of fans back, and this year, I don't think as soon as the car goes up for sale, it's sold.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's really good, and with Graham and Russell there now, they've already dug in and found some more drains and stuff, so the water should disappear now, and hopefully not when we get back there. It should be a good track, and obviously the first couple of meetings might not be the best, but I'm pretty sure them lads are going to put 110 into it.
Yeah, good. And also I guess there's a knock-on effect with Sheffield as well, and there's going to be investment potentially in there, and you've got two tracks in the north that are shale that could form
Sheffield's the best track, full stop, I think.
Do you reckon?
Just needs a little bit of a steel plate down straight, but leave the post and rope in the corners, I tell you.
Brilliant. Danny, thank you so much for your time. I'll let you carry on. But before you go, that is my favourite bit out of the whole thing, that massive fire there.
That's obviously my dad's ideas. It has two chimneys because it doesn't draw very well. It didn't draw very well, now it does. But yeah, that's basically our heating.
It's impressive.
It gets really hot in here when we get it going. But yeah.
Danny, thank you so much.
No worries, thank you.
Cheers. Phoebe, we've been here all day, and you're the only one that's done any proper work. Everybody else has just been like milling around. You've actually done proper work today.
I have a real job.
Yeah, you have a real job.
Everyone else just faffs around all day and says they're working, and they're not.
Your dad's certainly been like walking backwards and forwards.
Yeah. Said earlier, professional faffer is my dad.
I think we've had a great day up here. Your car's there. It's not. So what's the plans for next year, or this year now for you? What plans have you got?
Yeah, so obviously we want to finish off this car.
Yeah.
And then I do have a tarmac car on the way, but it has been kind of under construction for a while now. So whenever we find the time to do that, hopefully we'll find the time. But yeah, just to kind of finish off this car, do a bit more on the tarmac car. We'll see when we get that out. But yeah, I think this year, you know, the last couple of years, to be honest, in my F1 career, I've enjoyed. I always like to say, you know, I just want to enjoy my racing and, you know, finish in good places. So that's kind of, you know, what I want to continue doing. Hopefully win a race.
So the tarmac car, is your dad building that?
Yeah, so Carl started it. Carl has done most of the work on it so far, to be honest, and then me and Dad are kind of like going to try and finish it off and try. It's just finding the time. It's like it's 4 weeks till the start of the season, and it's just come around so quick. So it's just finding the time to do it, really.
I think from talking to your dad, he was getting quite excited about building the shell car. So I think he's kind of got to forget everybody else. I'm the priority.
Just put me on the back burner.
Yeah.
And he's just forgotten about me by the looks of it. So.
Well, you did really well last year with the one car on both surfaces. Do you know what I mean? Sitting at Skegness, you know, had great results, and so it kind of does the job that you need it to do.
Oh, it's a great little car. Yeah, it is, and you know, I'm happy with it, to be honest. It's Daddy. I think Dad gets frustrated when he watches me on tarmac. You know, it's just not got that extra oomph that a lot of the tarmac cars do. So when he watches me, he gets frustrated. And he's like, "I'm gonna get you a tarmac car. I'm gonna get you a tarmac car." So, yeah, hopefully it'll make me that little bit more competitive, but we'll see.
So for 2022, I guess, are you setting yourself any aspirational targets for the season, or is it just, like you say, I want to go out, enjoy my racing, have fun, and then anything else is a bonus?
Yeah, I think a big part of enjoying racing is not putting too much pressure on those kinds of things. And like, obviously I want to go out and do well, definitely, and I would really love to win a race because I've not won a race yet. So I would love to win a race. That's probably my biggest aim. But I think, you know, earlier on in especially in V8s, if I wasn't doing as well as I wanted to be, I'd get down and then I just wouldn't enjoy my racing. So I always said that as soon as I went into F1s, I didn't want to have that kind of mindset, and I just wanted to go out, enjoy myself. If I finish a race, I'll be happy, and I have been like that for the last 2 years, really. So as long as I enjoy it and pick up a few places, I'll be happy.
Good. And we spoke at Kings Lynn, and you were kind of promoting the under-25 race at Skegness, and that was a huge event. You raised a lot of money and a lot of prizes. Yeah,
I was really happy with it, actually. I can't remember what we ended up with now, but I was really, really overwhelmed by the amount of people that came forward and were like, "Yeah, I want to do it." And I was really, really happy with what we got together. Obviously, it's my last year in the under-25s now. I'm 26.
Really?
So it was my last year, but hopefully I'll try to help out as much as I can in the future.
I'm sure Sophie's like listening in over there going, "Yes, she's going to do it again. She's going to do it again," because that was a big job. Right, forget stock cars. 2022 is a massive year, though, isn't it, for you, for like other reasons?
Yeah, I'm getting married. Yeah, me and Carl are getting married. We've been together for nearly 8 years now, and we're getting married in September. The week before World Final, I think it is. So yeah, that's going to be a busy month for us.
So there's normally like a meetingless weekend, isn't it, the week before World Final?
Yeah,
was that the planning?
Right, I think it's F2 World Final that weekend. So yeah, but that's when we kind of planned it for. We figured out when the F1 World Final was going to be, and there's always a weekend off before, so we're like, right, let's get it booked for then, because otherwise no one will ever be able to come, because it's just impossible to try and plan something.
Like your dad? No, I can't come to it. No.
Sorry.
I'm racing at Ipswich.
Yeah.
Like, really?
It's not a qualifier or anything, but I'm still going to go.
But we spoke about that in his interview, because I said your dad's got that like fear of missing out syndrome. Do you know what I mean? Because he'll say, "Oh, I'm cutting back, I'm cutting back." And then like, I can remember talking to him at Northampton the day after World Final. Nobody'd gone apart from him and the dog. I'm like, "Why are you here?" "Well, I didn't want to miss it." "Well, why not?" Do you know what I mean?
He did that. He was, when I started, he's like, "Yeah, I'm really going to cut back. I'm not going to do as many meetings." And then for the next 2 years, he did every single meeting in both seasons. And I was like,
yeah, it's got a fear of missing out syndrome.
He
definitely got it. Phoebe, thank you so much for taking time to come to the cold garage from your nice warm house where you were doing proper work.
That's okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.